It happened almost 22 years ago. I was 18 at the time. Just finished my high school, was on holidays. I'm not really very outgoing person, very introvert. Decided to stay home instead of going out with friends or doing something. Focus on myself. So I started studying spirituality, different religions, just to understand myself and my existence more. Parents in those days, they just got a really good deal and bought a huge home at a very low price. I have two younger brothers. All three of us were like, oh my God, we're gonna have our own bedrooms and now the huge backyard and just beautiful place. We didn't really ask around about the house much, but we were thinking, oh, maybe it's just a luck we found something really good at the low price. The owners needed to go overseas or something, so they just wanted to sell. Didn't really think much of it. When we got the house, my mom got a little suspicious on the day of handover. So my mom got suspicious because the lady who handed over the keys to us, the owner of the house, the previous owner, she told my mom that this house is yours now and everything in it is yours, not mine. So my mom got suspicious thinking that house didn't come furnished, so why did she make that comment? But my dad was just, don't worry about it and you think too much into it. So we shrugged it off. We hardly got settled in the house, maybe a week or two. My younger brothers started seeing things like double of family members walking past and then go out of the room and mom is there in the kitchen. And mom, I just saw you going the other side. She goes, no, I've been cooking here all day. We didn't take it seriously, maybe just the imagination or something. Then my aunties used to come to visit us, or the people come to visit us. And whenever they come to my bedroom, they go, sometimes they can smell a horrible smell. And they go like, there's something in the room, there's something in the room. We look around, we check, nothing's wrong. Smell's gone within a few minutes. Then sometimes they used to come, they go, oh my God, from Monica's room, there's such a beautiful fragrance coming out. Did you use a perfume or something? No, nothing like that. They come around, have a look. Within few minutes, all those things just disappears. The thing is that I never smelled anything in the room. Yes, sometimes in the middle of the night, I could hear the water running. I had an attached bath in my bedroom, and I go inside, no one's there. As soon as I switch on the light, nothing's there. So this was something very regular. Similar time, before dawn, I hear the water running, and that's how I used to wake up. I never found anything. It's like more that we weren't taking it seriously. My brother one night woke up and he said that I saw dead bodies on the floor. Lots of people dead on the floor. And he got really freaked out. He got so freaked out that even till now, till today, he sleeps a little bit tilted as if he's sitting down, he's not sleeping. He feels if I'm gonna fall asleep, those things will appear again. He didn't used to tell us much, but I think he had more scary experiences than anyone else in the house. One day he saw a family of very weird looking people in the corner of the house. And he said that there were a couple of kids and one adult. And he started staring at them, and the adult person looked back at him. My brother got so scared. He ran to my mom, and he caught a fever, and he was in very high fever for 3-4 days. He couldn't shrug it off. He said they weren't human looking like. They were more like monkeys and human, gorillas. But they were very weird looking and their eyes were very red. He really freaked out, but he's a kind of a kid. He didn't used to talk too much, like very quiet, and I never saw anything scary in that house or felt. Just one day, my grandma used to come and visit us, and she was a very old lady. I think she was in her late 70s or 80s that time. Her hearing was very bad. She couldn't walk properly. So when she used to come, my mom always wanted one person to accompany her. Like she used to stay in my room so that I can watch over her, help her out. She used to tell us that whenever I watch TV, there are kids, maybe your little kids, come around, they run, they make noise, they call her, and when she looks, they run away. My brothers weren't like, they were very quiet, very good kids, disciplined. But my grandma was very persistent that the kids don't let her sleep or watch TV, they make too much noise, they are teasing her. We thought that she's an old lady, she's just imagining things. Nothing that could happen. That night, my grandma was staying over, and I moved my bed a little bit away because I used to read at night time. So I had this little light, and grandma didn't like for me to turn on the light. So I moved my bed away from her on the other end of the room. And I think I was reading and fell asleep. Now, I have a habit of falling asleep with half eyes open. So I feel like I was asleep, but more in that sleep paralysis that I could see what's going on. And suddenly I started seeing like a corridor, and people are walking past, and it was just a very different scene. It didn't seem like nighttime. There was noise, there were people walking past, and suddenly one girl, I remember it was a girl, she came, stood behind my bed where I can't see her face, but I still remember her face. She was not very tall, a little bit chubby, long curly hair, and she was talking to me, and I was talking to her, but I wasn't moving. I feel like my body was completely frozen. And she just said that, "Did I ever bother you?" And I said, "No." And she said, "But you are bothering me." And I was like, "But I didn't do anything." She said, "You are in my way. Can you please get up and move?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I just apologized." I said, "Yeah, I'm sorry." She wasn't scary or anything. And once I apologized and I said, "Yeah, I came back to my senses, like I was awake properly, fully, and I remembered everything. That scene disappeared in front of me where people were walking past and talking, more like a market scene. For some reason, I wasn't really scared. I got up, I pushed my bed, which woke up my grandma. She wasn't happy about it. I pushed my bed to its original spot, went back to sleep, never saw that girl again, never had any issue, nothing. That was an interesting episode because this happened, and had quite a few things happen in the house where my mom got scared few times, but my family didn't wanted us to be scared, so they never shared much. But we know that mom and dad are talking about it and something's going on. Finally, they decided to sell the house because I'm from a very old-fashioned family. So my family arranged my marriage, and I got married within 6 months from the same house. And after that, they sold the house and moved away. Now, when I got married, I moved with my in laws. So that's the cultural thing. I had to live with my in laws, my husband. We had a bedroom on lower floor, and my mother in law, father in law, brother in laws, they used to live on the upper side of the house. Within, I think, 2 months of me getting married, my husband started seeing someone, ex husband. He used to say, "Looks just like me." My height, long curly hairs like me. And he said, I think it was around 9 p.m. at night. I was taking shower in the bathroom, and he was in the bed watching TV. And according to him, I came out of the bathroom and started going towards the door of my bedroom. So he called out. And he said as soon as he called out and looked at me properly, I disappeared through the door. So he got freaked out. So he started yelling my name. And I answered from above, coming, give me a minute, coming. And he came and he was really confused. He goes, I just saw you. I saw you going out. And when I called your name, you disappeared through the door. How is that possible? I was like, nah, nothing. Maybe you're sleepy or something. He doubted himself. He said, maybe, but I'm pretty much sure I saw something. I said, no, I don't think so. I'm still here. I just finished taking shower. I was about to come out. This happened 2-3 times more where he was 100% sure he saw someone just like me, but that person just disappears through the walls. And he freaked out, so he spoke to his mom. So my mother-in-law came, she looked around the house, she looked around our bedroom. So even though we were in a joint family system, the house was pretty big and we had a section of the house to ourselves. The 2 bedrooms we had on our side of the house, attached bath, a little kitchen. So my mother-in-law decided to get a medium. Got a medium. The guy came, walked around my side of the house. He goes, there is a presence, but that presence is female and she is attached to Monica. So they all freaked out. They were like, you are haunted, something wrong with you. Oh my God, what we gonna do about it? So that guy didn't really make connection with that female, but that's the information he gave us. Then they contacted the priest. Somebody came, they blessed the house, they told us to make some donations and some sacrifices, and they asked us to do funny stuff, which to me, it didn't seem like blessing the house or something. They asked us to, he blessed the little dagger and he said, you gotta dig and bury it in the backyard of the house. And it's a weird thing he made my in-laws do. They did everything, but my ex-husband still seeing that girl around in the house, walking past. Sometimes according to him, he goes into sleep paralysis, and that lady just come and watch him sleeping. So he could see that she is very close watching him, but he can't move. But she never did anything bad to him. Unless a couple of times it happens that he and me, it was an arranged marriage. We didn't know each other much. So it was very normal to have arguments, and not really big arguments, but that both of us won't agree on something, try to make each other understand. I don't get into yelling or into deep arguments. Okay, you don't want to understand me, that's fine. I'm not gonna argue. And I do feel upset and stay upset for a day, but next day when I wake up, I forget. It happens this time. I got upset with my ex and it was a heated argument. And then I was like, fine, I'm not gonna get into it. He was keep mumbling, keep saying things to make me upset. We went to open the window and apparently we don't really understand how can that window come off the frame and fall on his toes. He fractured his toe. We'll have to run to the hospital, ambulance, everything, but it was still a mystery. How can that window literally come off the frame and fall on him? He was pushing the window sideways. He wasn't pulling it towards himself. Couldn't attend work, but anyway, it gave me a chance to look after him and fix our relationship again. Now, this is not the only incident. It was something very obvious, so I still remember it. But I do remember whenever I'm upset with someone or someone make me upset for whatever reason, after a few days I used to get calls or those people come apologize or be nice or get me gifts, and I used to feel like, why? It wasn't even a big deal. Why they are doing this? I didn't really get to see it in person, so I never took it seriously. My mother-in-law, after a few years, said this kept happening. I had a son in the first year of my marriage. My son was almost 3, and my mother-in-law was there were a few other people, and she was being sarcastic and telling me that how I didn't raise my son properly, and this is how a mother should do, and this is how the kid should react, all those normal politics, family politics. And I was feeling very embarrassed because there were people around. And I was like almost about to cry. I didn't want to make a scene or say anything, but I was so angry and I was about to cry. And I was like, okay, I'll be fine, calming myself down. It's okay, it's okay. Suddenly, my mother in law got up, walked a few steps, and she bumped herself. Actually, she bumped her head somewhere and fell down. We couldn't understand. There was nothing in the house that she could have bumped her head into. She just got up and walked a few steps, and she bumped her head into something which we still don't know what was it, and she fell, and literally her head was like bleeding a little bit. And she sat down on the floor, and then the other people who were around, they helped her sit down. And we were still trying to understand what did she bump into. There is nothing. And at your height that goes into your head, it's a house. I think that was the time when my mother-in-law thought that thing is still with Monica. We couldn't get rid of her. So she was very suspicious. She got the medium back in the house again. And this time medium came. She told the medium that we got the priest, we tried to get rid of this thing, we did this. But medium was like, nothing changed, nothing I felt has changed here. That thing is still with her. She is living in your house. So they tried to get the medium to communicate with that spirit and ask her, how would that go away? We don't want you here. The medium, I don't know how we couldn't hear the medium talking, but medium just closes his eyes, and I don't know how in his head he talks to that spirit, or not even sure was faking it or not. And the medium told my mother-in-law was there, my husband was there, and I was there, and that medium. So the medium said that the spirit is saying she came with Monica from the other house. She likes her. She want to stay with her. She's not gonna leave. They all got really freaked out. So how can we get rid of her? They said she don't want to go unless we try to get Monica to tell her, I don't want you. I want you to leave. My mother-in-law, my husband, they started looking at me, and to be honest, I was like living with my in-laws all by myself. I didn't want her to leave. I felt like she's my only protection. I never felt scared when she was around. I never had any bad experience. And all the things that were happening around me always made me feel like there's someone looking after me. Because a girl who is 18, 19 years old got into an arranged marriage with a stranger. I didn't know my ex-husband. My family just thought that this is a educated guy. They are good, rich people. They have a nice place to live. They're gonna look after you. So this is the right decision. You gotta get married. I wasn't really into my ex, but I was like, okay, my parents not gonna make wrong choice for me. Okay, whatever. So I got married, and it was more like they were all stranger to me. And he had his support, his mom, his dad, his brothers, his family. He didn't have to leave his home, but I had to leave my parents' home and come here. I was very insecure, trying to adjust, very young. And then this thing that was attached to me, for I don't know, whatever reason, I don't remember talking or calling spirits or playing with Ouija board. However, she came to me, and I felt like she was looking after me. She was my only friend protection in this strange house. But my ex-husband and my mother-in-law was like very persistent. Now you gotta tell her to leave. This is not nice. And the medium also showed his concern, saying that this spirit might grow so much attachment to Monica that she might not want her to be married to my ex, and she might make them leave each other, or this could end up into a divorce. So I was a little bit concerned about that, getting into an arranged marriage, and then culturally divorce wasn't something acceptable for a girl in my community. So I was like, okay, I might have to get rid of her. So they made me, this is what you have to tell her, that you don't want her around, you don't like her being with you, she is from a different world, you're from a different world, there is no friendship, there can be no friendship. And just ask her to. I said what they asked me to say. And I don't know, but since then, I could never feel anyone around me. I thought this is almost 23 years ago. Since then, I don't think she's around ever. I was sad about it, and I still think, who was she? Where did she come from? How did she choose me to be a friend? Why was she around me? I really wish that medium would have communicated enough to give me some closure. Who was she? Why she wanted me? Or what kind of friendship was she expecting? But now I don't think I'll ever be able to know what exactly was her story.